This video is sponsored by PoketownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Are you looking for that last card to complete your deck, or just to get the latest booster pack in town on TCGO? Well, they have everything. Use the coupon code TCG and get 5% off your next order. Also, this video is sponsored by Cardsmarket.com. This is a European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every single day, and you can get booster packs, even old school cards like this cool Mr. Mime over here, so be sure to check it out on Cardsmarket.com. Last but certainly not least is going to be yourplaymat.com. This is a website where you're able to create your own unique custom playmat. Get your own unique custom playmat right now by clicking the link in the description below or using the coupon code TCG10YP and get 10% off your order when creating your own unique custom playmat for the new season. Anyhow, thanks for sticking around on the commercials. I'll see you guys very shortly. Peace. Sup YouTube, it's TCG here, and welcome back to our TCG battle video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG content, so be sure you are subscribed so you don't ever miss a single upload. Today we're going to be actually celebrating, of course, post-rotation, and if you, of course, are new to the channel, yeah, definitely subscribe. You're getting daily content, so that means every single day you get new deck list, gameplay footage, and all that. The reason why I'm a little bit on the, well, yeah, this side, on the left side, is that you can see the entire deck list, so you can see. We're going to be talking about the top 15 best decks post-rotation. So you're gonna get 15 deck lists over here. You can print screen them, try them out for yourself, and learn a little bit about it in this video. If you're hyped, if you're hyped for this video, be sure to let me know by destroying the hell out of this like button. I took a lot of research and time actually to explore the 15 best decks, and this is my personal preference. The tier list actually could move around here and there depending on which cards are doing better than others. But for now, we're giving 15 deck lists, and yeah, let's just get this adventure started. The first one up on the menu is Duraludon VMAX. Being immune from Pokemon with special energies attached is huge. Think about the huge amount of capture energies in the list, and certain decks we have Aurora energies as well. There's a Horror Psychic energy making a resurgence, and of course Rapid Strike energy and Single Strike energies are all special energies. That means if you're up against any of those decks and they overattach on, of course, their yeah, their Pokemon, they're actually gonna get punished quite a bit because you will be immune. So let's just make sure we are not over like that card. This seems to be okay. So we're gonna talk like this. Put the mic all the way over here. Let's do this. Okay, so as we were saying, Duraludon VMAX is a fantastic card just because of the high amount of HP. You also have a Duraludon V from Champion's Path, and that one is able to, of course, rely on Metal Saucer. There's 4 Metal Saucers in here. There's, of course, also the access to the Zacian to go for Intrepid Sword. No Crobat whatsoever, so you're going to be able to draw a lot of cards. You're going to be able to overlap with the Crystal Cave potential path to the peaks. And the cool thing about playing a list like this, you're very tanky. You don't have a single weakness because your Duraludon VMAX and Dragon types do not have any weakness. And you can, of course, with Bronzong, with the Metal Transfer, move around all your energies, including the Aurora energy, which you'll probably need for the fighting energy requirement for Duraludon VMAX. And you're going to be able to use Cheryl. If you use Cheryl, you complete off healing capabilities. And the cool thing about Cheryl is not only do you heal off Duraludon VMAX, sometimes people playing Inteleon will also snipe your Bronzong, and you can also heal that one off. Yeah, people do forget that sometimes. You also have Zamazenta to wall off against other VMAX archetypes in town. So very consistent list. You have Intrepid Sword. The only thing you're concerned about is just using the first attachment, then gonna try to go for like a Metal Saucer, and after that the Duraludon is ready as soon as you find your Aurora energy. So it's pretty solid build. We're gonna be trying this out on the channel very shortly, but I think this deserves to be here on the number 15 spot because it's still a little bit underplayed and not explored too much. But yeah, Joshua Shadowland actually came up with a list like this, so we actually had to include it in here, and I do think it might actually be successful, or actually get more successful when time goes by. Moving forward, number 14, here we go, we have Decidueye. Decidueye is always part of the metagame just because of the Deforest Camo ability that actually allows you to be immune from damage from Pokemon and VMAXs. No longer GXs in their format, super sweet. And a lot of the decks right now are, of course, running only VMAX Pokemon to attack with, and V Pokemon in general. They do sometimes have an Inteleon engine, I say sometimes, most of the time, but you do have big Parasol to make sure they are not able to snipe onto you, which is awesome. So, and even though we also have Scoop Up Nuts, and you can also knock out Inteleons if you just gust after it. This list particular runs 3 copies of Boss Doors. You might also think about switching the Crobat with a Snorlax from Vivid Voltage, it is all your personal preference, by the way. And also, if you want to know, there are, of course, let's just see here. There we go, 4 capture energies. And the previous list, it was not necessary because there was not too many different cards. But right now, we actually need to get rid of one of our sponsors. We're gonna be getting back sooner or later. So this is a fantastic list. If you're having an unexplored meta, just go for this, because most decks will only be tacked out for like their regular matchups. They won't tack in Aegislash, they won't tack in their Phoebes. And all these couple of lists, I haven't seen a lot of Phoebe, so I think this should be good to play right now. If you want to play on a budget, this is definitely a great deck for you. You have access to Third Field Stadium, which allows you to, of course, get the Decidueye out of the deck instantly. You have, of course, have Rare Candy, which you can fetch with the Shady Dealings Inteleon, and that means you're gonna have a second turn Decidueye up in no time. So as long as you get a couple of Decidueyes up, it's going to be fantastic. A card I also love in here is Ryan, so maybe you can cut one Bossasaurus for a Ryan. And I personally would also cut a Crobat V for a Snorlax from Vivid Voltage. Also a Path to the Peak in here, interestingly enough. And all these decks have been quite successful throughout post-rotation tournaments. 13 goes to Rayquaza. I understand. I also was thinking about adding in 4 copies of the Stormy Mountain Stadium card just to overlap Path to the Peak, because you heavily rely on your ability. You have Cricketune to draw yourself back up the tree. You have, of course, have the Azure Pulse ability of Rayquaza VMAX, being able to discard your entire hand and draw 3 cards. Very nice to search for that fire energy or just to get stuff in the discard pile so you can Dynamotor them on. Rayquaza VMAX also is a Dragon-type Pokemon, not being weak to anything and having capabilities of one-hit KO potential against any VMAX is awesome. The only thing you're concerned about is early on getting an army of Mareep out, the following turn into Flaffy, accelerating all the energies onto Rayquaza VMAX, and then boom, you one-hit KO a lot of threats. The reason why it's so low on the list, it hasn't seen the success that we desired. Maybe it's because people cannot acquire the Rayquaza VMAXs. Maybe it's because people stick to what they know. For instance, the Shadow Riders and the Urshifus and stuff. But this is a solid list to get yourself started if you're a fan of Rayquaza VMAX. I want to make it good. This is an ideal way to search out. Stormy Mountains allows you to search your deck for none other than a Dragon-type basic Pokemon or a Lightning-type basic Pokemon, which is awesome. That is just perfect for this deck, and with, of course, a high amount of research in here. You're gonna get, of course, all these lightning energies in the discard pile to re-accelerate them, and you also have a Rose, and the Rose allows you to accelerate 2 basic energies to your VMAX while discarding your hand. You can draw yourself back up with Cricketune, and you also can get the Cricketune back with Ordinary Rod, by the way, and you also can draw yourself back up with Rayquaza VMAX, and the ability is also stackable. If you get 1 fire and 4 lightning energies into Rayquaza, you one-hit KO any VMAX in town by slapping 340 damage. 12 goes to an awkward Victini VMAX deck that did really well in the Chill series. This is a Victini list that thoroughly relies around Victini, so you can never have a bad start, which is awesome. You slow the opponent down with Team Yell Grunt and Crushing Hammers instead of relying on Subbles and Inteleons to, of course, do your dirty work and fetching everything for you. You just run 4 Pokegears to find whatever supporter you want, and with, of course, 4 Path to the Peak and 4 Crushing Hammer and Tool Jammer and the Rocket Helmet and even Fan of Waves. This is a very disruptive Victini VMAX deck that wants to boss until the opponent cries in a corner. Fan of Waves puts a special energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon on the bottom of their deck. Rock Helmet, if you get slapped damage onto you, it actually returns an energy from your opponent's attacking Pokemon. You have Crushing Hammers, you have Team Meowgrant, so very disruptive Victini VMAX list. And I really want to test this out in real life as well. This looks very, very cool. The Heat Fire energy will also give you 20 extra HP, so that means you have 330 HP, which might be impactful against specific archetypes. For instance, Galarian... let's say you're up against Eternatus and they run a lot of Galarian Zigzagoons, they might potentially one-hit KO you. With Heat Fire Energy, you prevent that. And having more HP is never bad, is it? So nothing else to say. This is a very consistent list with lots of 4-offs. And yeah, you only need Victini VMAX, so it seems, in specific decks, definitely in a format like this. Number 11, Sylveon VMAX. This is a deck we've already tested out on the channel before. I also included Blaziken in a list like this, but you can do whatever your heart desires. Sylveon is good just because of how good Urshifu is. There's Single Strike Urshifu, there's Rapid Strike Urshifu, you hit those for weakness. With Sylveon VMAX, you have the Dream Gift ability of the Sylveon, being able to fetch any item card you want. You have Galarian Moltres, of course, to knock out Shadow Rider, so you actually counter against one of the most powerful decks in the format, and with Dire Flame Wings in combination with Energy Switch, you're actually able to get the desired energies for, of course, the attack on Sylveon VMAX. Having access to Urshifu VMAX is also never a bad thing, definitely against one-price decks. Sometimes you can threaten them by just going for Gmax Rapid Flow. This list also is good at going for Gmax Rapid Flow back-to-back, so Be sure to take a note at it. Also, we're gonna have to say goodbye to our sponsors for now because we need to see the entire deck list. I think this was okay for the rest of the cards. Yeah, sure. Already a little spoiler for the number 10, but okay. Ribbon badge, also make sure that your Sylveon V and Sylveon VMAX give up one fewer prize card, and that can be very, very good in the prize race. You go for something like a 3-prizer into a 2-prizer into a 3-prizer again, very, very sufficient. Octillery, able to fetch out any Rapid Strike card. You can get Karina to draw cards, you can get Tower of Waters to retreat, or you can get your energy, of course, for the energy of turn. So very cool list. If you want to see it in action, we already have it up on the channel, and most of these decks will eventually or already have been featured on the channel. So very cool to see. You want to have different types on your bench. I didn't actually say that with Sylveon VMAX. You actually need to have different types on your bench to slap more damage. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types you can go for, and the Galarian Meowth allows you to thin out your hand. Not only is it great for Karina's focus to draw better, but also gets the Darkness energies in the discard pile to, of course, abuse with the Dire Flame wings of the Moltres. Number 10. Yeah, you already saw a sneak peek here. It's going to be Single Strike Box, aka Umbreon VMAX in France. You use Houndoom with the Single Strike Roar to accelerate Single Strike energies onto your Pokemon. You have Umbreon V eventually evolving into Umbreon VMAX, which allows you to gust up one of the opponent's bench Pokemon, aka Bossosaurus, in an ability. Super bonkers because you can punish. If you go first and you can get a great setup, you can actually hunt down V Pokemon that still need to evolve, which is super solid in my book. The Urshifu VMAX also allows you to one-hit KO anything in the game, also having a wall breaker effect by going through stuff like Decidueye. So this is also a very similar list that I featured on the channel before. Scroll of the Scorn is actually a very cool item card, which actually is a tool card for your single strike Pokemon, allowing you to actually dish out more damage for every damage counter on yourself. Could be nice as a 1 energy attachment attack. What else? If you go second, you can go for Urshifu V and go for the laser focus to set yourself up instantly, and with of course the high amount of gusting that's very scary for the opponent. So what else is cool about this is that Calyrex is gone in the post-rotation format. That means that Tower of Darkness is super solid in the post-rotation format. You're going to be able to have so much consistency, and with a high amount of capture energy, Great Ball and Quick Ball, you're going to have your Houndour army set up in no time. Yeah, I really like this list. I actually made it in real life. If you don't believe me, here it is. It is in my deck box right now, and look at this. I don't know if you can see it, but it is made in real life, and it's sitting next to me, by the way, because I really need to test this list even more. Look at the fancy sleeves, by the way. Anyhow, that aside, I'm actually testing this deck as we speak because I think it has a high amount of potential. Standing here on the number 10 spot. Number 9, Leafeon VMAX. I love evolutions, and Leafeon VMAX seems to be the best out of the bunch, being able to, of course, abuse Grass Knot and Galar Mine. Again, after rotation, no more Chaotic Swell. That means Galar Mine stays in play for the rest of the game, unless the opponent overlaps it with another Stadium card, but you can then overlap again. That's the reason we're playing 4 copies, 2 extra retreat costs in combination with a basic retreat cost of 2. Most VMAXs have a 2 retreat cost. That means you're slapping 240 with some Inteleon pings here and there. It's gonna be fantastic to finish off some Pokemon. You have Tool Jammer, making sure Air Balloon is not definitely causing troubles. And also we of course run the Shady Dealings, so you can get your Bossosaurus, you can get your Galar Mine when the time is right. The perfect thing about Leafeon V is that it has the consistency by its side by capture energy. 1 capture energy means you already have a Pokemon and an energy in play. But just because of the Greening Cells ability of Leafeon, you're going to be able to use that ability on the first turn or the second turn, whatever. You're going to be able to accelerate a grass energy from the deck instantly to one of your Pokemon. I know your turn does end, but it's a very strong ability to get yourself going for sure. More retreat cost, more damage, so if there's ever like a very powerful deck with a retreat cost of 3, you're actually slapping for 300 damage with the Leafeon, so 60 damage multiplier is super strong on this one. Looks like Inteleons keep coming back, so if you're wanting to play post-rotation, actually at a 4-4-2 line of these fellas, you're definitely going to be needing all of these Inteleon in most decks, as you can see by now. Yeah, that's all we need to say about this list. Moving forward, number 8. Yeah, here we go. Eternatus VMAX, better than ever before. They opted to go for Tower of Darkness as a Stadium card. I actually made a list with Old Cemetery, whatever playstyle suits you best. But the cool thing is, it's a heavy line of Umbreon and Umbreon VMAX. That means you can heavily rely on Tower of Darkness and having the crazy consistency by your side, threatening a KO, of course, on Pokemon that still need to evolve. So this is a very dangerous list, very similar to Victini VMAX in that sense. So you have, of course, your Eternatus VMAX, allowing you to have up to 8 bench Pokemon if they're all Darkness type. You only have Darkness Pokemon in your list, which is fantastic. With a high amount of Umbreon comes a high amount of responsibility. Yeah, not really, but yeah, actually if you evolve into the Umbreon VMAX, you have infinite amount of Gusting. And with 4 Great Ball, 4 Quick Ball, 4 Evolution Incense, and some Capture Energies, you will have your bench set up in no time, and that means Gusting is always on the table. If you just evolve, you Gust. That's how simple life can be. You also have Galarian Moltres, which is able to, of course, absorb a Darkness Energy from the discard pile, and with Energy Switch, you can get it instantly onto Eternatus VMAX if you ever with your Energy Attachment, or if you can get Crushing Hammered. I haven't seen a lot of Crushing Hammer in this format, which is super nice, and that means you don't actually need more Energy Switches as it is. Also, of course, the Power Accelerator is still an option with Eternatus V. Alright, that's a mouthful, right? So we had number 10, number 9, number 8, now number 7, Malamar. I'm a huge fan of Malamar. I really love this list just because of the Scoop Up Nets. The Scoop Up Nets can get you a high amount of damage, but Malamar is all about the Rapid Strike Tentacle attack. 40 damage for every Rapid Strike card you're willing to shuffle back into your deck. So you reveal your hand, you say like, oh, I have 8 Rapid Strike cards, boom, and you one-hit KO VMAXs. That's gonna be life right now with Malamar. You have high amount of consistency with Level Ball, Great Ball, Fog Crystal, so you can have your army of Pokemon set up instantly. I've also seen lists with Inteleon, and of course the Shady Dealings shenanigans because of the Keep Calling attack on the Subble, very good. This list is opted to go for Chinchino, my personal playstyle as well. Chinchino is very good. You, of course, have multiple amount of search out. You can, of course, use Make Do to draw lots of cards. You can use Rapid Strike Search to get a Rapid Strike card from your hand. And I've already mentioned that you slap more damage for every Rapid Strike card in your hand. Did you know that, all the cards count? Like Spiral Energy is a Rapid Strike card. Tower of... Waters is a Rapid Strike card. The Karina's Focus is a Rapid Strike card. So your Pokemon, Rapid Strike card. So you can have whatever you have to reveal, poof, one-hit KOs. This actually will, of course, help a ton. Definitely in a format where ADP is no longer around. This one price deck can thrive and, of course, win tournaments. You use Make Do and Rapid Strike Search on top of a Bruno or Research, and you can get a huge hand and then punish the opponent by shuffling some stuff in your deck. Wow, and not only do you shuffle them back in the deck, that means in the late game this deck is super solid because most cards will be Rapid Strike cards, and that's fantastic. Moving forward, I think we have come to like number 10, 9, 8, 7, yeah, 6, number 6. Zacian V and with Inteleon. So with 3 Shady Dealings, you're going to have, of course, your Metal Saucers and Bossasaurus, yeah, whatever you need, maybe Ryan and Saucer. Back-to-back, Zacian is strong. Zacian slaps 230 damage with a Cape of Toughness, as actually turning into a 2-shot range on most VMAXs. And if you get 2-shotted and you are able to 2-shot VMAXs, you uptrade, which is super important. This list is also not running Rusted Sword or any quick shooting Inteleons. Maybe you can alter that. I would definitely go into 1 copy at least of Quick Shooting to help out against specific numbers. But this is super great. Also with 10 Metal Energies, your Intrepid Sword becomes way better. Without Welder in the format, you also don't need Metal Coating Energy anymore. And with, of course, Ryan and Metal Saucer, you can have back-to-back Zacians in no time. And Zacian puts up a huge pressure, don't get me wrong. Let's say you go first, Attachment, Intrepid Sword, get 1 energy. You already threaten to knock out an opposing Pokemon V that the opponent wants to evolve. You have access to Air Balloons to switch around. More importantly, Cape of Toughness puts Zacian V to a whole different level of 270 HP. Zamazenta walls off none other than all the VMAX decks in town. And with, of course, the high amount of consistency thanks to Intrepid Sword, you're going to have an awesome time, mark my words. So interesting for sure. This list is not running a lot of Marnie, which gets me concerned a little bit. But on the other hand, you probably want to research every time or boss in that sense. So Zacian V, still strong. Now the top 5. Can you guess? Number 5, Dragapult VMAX. Yeah, Henry Brandt put this on the map by actually winning an event with the Dragapult VMAX. Dragapult VMAX is now stronger than ever before. I think the good thing is 4 Path to the Peak for Marnie seems to be strong in a lot of situations. Also being able to punish on Rapid Strike Urshifu is strong. You have Quick Shooting and of course the Max Phantom by your side, as well as Galarian, Zigzagoon. These are all great things going for Dragapult VMAX. I know you're gonna get one-shotted by Eternatus and Umbreon. But that's the loss you have to take. Sometimes you can even win those matches by an early game Pat and Marnie, because sometimes they just break. They rely heavily on Crobat or Pokemon with abilities, and it's not going to work too much anymore. So I really love this list. Super consistent for sure, because Fog Crystal either searches a basic energy or a Dragapult V, which is awesome. You have level balls and quick balls to set your Subble army up and rolling. And with Ryan, if Dragapult VMAX goes down and you want a second one up and rolling in no time, you can of course use the Ryan. The Suspicious Food Tank can come in clutch if you want to heal off, so the opponent still needs to 2 shots, or actually 3 shots sometimes. It could help definitely with Inteleon pings going onto your bench, Dragapult VMAX on the bench. Yeah, that's about it for this list. Pat to the Peak strong, Marnie strong, you have a strong attacker in the first place. Only problem is weak to darkness. Number 4. Suicune V and friends. Either you play this with full-on Inteleon or with a small Ludicolo package. This is the first place winning list of the Chill series, so it is definitely packing the punch here with, of course, Suicune fleet-footed, drawing you 1 card, and the Blizzard Rondo slapping more damage depending on the opponent's bench size as well as your bench size. You're going to be able to get a 220 damage output as a max damage out with Blizzard Rondo. You have Melanie to set this up, or if somebody got knocked out, Ryan to set this up in 1 turn. You, of course, have access to Ludicolo. Ludicolo, if you evolve into it with the Anti-Gestic Dance, we will slap an additional 100 more damage on the opposing Pokemon with our basic Pokemon. That means Suicune V can get the 1-hit KOs you desire, definitely on top of quick shooting ability of Inteleon. So Inteleon combined with Ludicolo in this list, and it's all possible because Suicune draws cards. This list also doesn't run any stadium, so if Path to the Peak is in play, you're not going to be able to draw cards with Suicune. But on the other hand, Drizzle and Shady Dealings and the Inteleon Shady Dealings gets whatever cards you want. So who needs to draw a card when Path to the Peak is in play? When you're able to KO decks that run Path to the Peak, think about, of course, the Dragapult VMAX. But there's more decks with Path to the Peak coming soon. So interesting list for sure. Very aggressive attacker, Suicune V. Very good right now. I think the price will go up on Suicune V. But again, the Inteleon package, if post-rotation has learned us anything is actually that Inteleon is going to be super worth it in combination with Research Balls and Marnie. If you have those in combination with Level Ball and Quick Ball and Evolution Essence, you almost have half of all the decks in the format. And also the cool thing is that Blizzard Rondo also requires 1 card as energy, so you can easily rely on the Capture energy to require. Okay, super solid. And now the top 3. Number 3, Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. Suicune is also part of this deck. Made it a little bit better as a 2-price Pokemon that can hit huge damage for only 2 energies. This is going to be, again, with Inteleon Engine, Quick Shooting, or Shady Dealings. They are all good, and with 4 Path to the Peak, and of course the crazy attack power of the Max Lance. Max Lance being able to slap 250 with Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. You're going to have such an awesome time because you're going to threaten, of course, evolving V Pokemon like never before. The only thing you need is like Ice Rider, Attach of Turn, and a Subble, and then the opponent is gonna say no, I don't want to get knocked out, and then you evolve Drizzle, find boss the Pokemon V, evolve, attachment, boom, and you're gonna be playing the opponent's gonna be playing from behind, and then you can go for Melanie loops, which is awesome. And now also with Ryan, you're gonna be able to have that extra energy acceleration, so sometimes you can also attack with the Ice Rider Calyrex V. Just it is a thing. It's a very consistent list as well, so I wouldn't change a card in this situation. Moving forward, number 2. Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. It's a very good deck, but it's getting targeted by a lot of decks right now. So be wary if you're playing this deck. It's public enemy number 1. So, Rapid Strike Urshifu V being weak to Psychic is not the greatest thing. As mentioned, Sylveon Rexu and another deck in the format as well. Again, Inteleon is part of the crew, and this time around 3 quick shootings because it pairs really well with Yoga Loop Medicham. Medicham, if you can put 2 damage counters on one of the opposing Pokemon, and then if it's knocked out, you can go again. So you get 2 turns, you can have checkmate positions. Super solid list. Passimian in combination with Telescopic Sight allows the GMAX Rapid Flow to slap 180 to 2 bench V Pokemon. Utterly Broken, and of course Galtras 150 if you came from the bench. That's why we have Escape Ropes and Tower of Water and Air Balloon to make that happen. And also, GMAX Rapid Flow is just crazy. You can get back-to-back GMAX Rapid Flows with Ryan. There's 2 copies of Ryan in here if one of them are priced. It doesn't matter. You just want to have GMAX Rapid Flow, checkmate position with Yoga Loop and finish the job. That's what this deck is all capable of doing. We also have access to 1 Boss's Orders. Sometimes that could be neat, like Gale Trust Boss's Orders onto a Crobat because Crobat is weak to fighting. And I really like this list. If you're scared, you can also attack in Galarian Moltres, but this seems to be the most consistent build I've seen. Then number 1, can you guess it? Ta-ta! Rapid Strike gets annihilated by Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. This is a crazy list. Of course, we have a 4/4 line of Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX with the Underworld Door. You're gonna be able to accelerate those psychic energies like never before on the bench while drawing 2 cards with 15 energies in there, and Galarian Articuno being able to get 2 of them in play with the Cruel Charge is gonna be fantastic for you to get energies into play. Max Geist slaps 10 damage plus 30 more for every psychic energy in play, which is crazy on all of your Pokemon. And we have Alcremie VMAX with the G-Mask Whisk being able to discard all the energies you have in play up to, you can select how many you want, and then for every energy you discard it's 60 damage. So as soon as you get to the 6 energies in play, Alcremie VMAX one-hit KOs anything in the game. Alcremie VMAX also has a different weakness than Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, which helps out in a lot of matchups. I really love the synergy between the different weaknesses. You have Galarian Articuno, which can slap for 120 onto something with the snipe capabilities. You have Pumpkaboo, which can get rid of stuff like Path to the Peak. A little bit wary by only running 2 training cord, but I definitely probably would change 1 energy to another training cord because of the popularity of Path to the Peak. Other than that, it's just straight consistency. 4 crystals, 4 quick ball, 4 research, 4 money, 3 evolution incense, and some switching outs. Maybe you can cut 1 air balloon for another evolution incense as well, so you have like a second turn evolve, and then Underworld Door getting energies into play. It is utterly broken. So yeah, this is the top 15 decks post rotation for now. The meta definitely could change in the near future. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to let me know by destroying the hell out of the like button. It helps out in ridiculous ways, and I always appreciate it if you do so. It only takes a second of your time, and I do put some effort into making these videos, so it's definitely well appreciated. Be sure to check out our sponsors, Potown Store, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Looking to buy to buy TCGO codes to make any of these decks that you just saw. Be sure to, of course, use the coupon code ZapDoseTCG for 5% off your order. You're going to be able, of course, to get promo codes, the latest booster packs, and all that. Also, be sure to check out cardmarket.com, European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. And last but certainly not least is yourplaymat.com. This is the website for you if you want to create your own unique custom playmat. Here we are on yourplaymat.com. If you start here, you're definitely gonna have, of course, the perfect way. They ship worldwide, and you can get 10% off your order right now if you click the link down below. So you can create your own unique custom playmat for the new season. Anyhow, hopefully you guys find this video a little bit useful. What is your favorite deck? Be sure to let me know down below in the comment section what your favorite deck is and which deck you're gonna be making. I'm curious to hear your opinions down below. Also, let me know if you know how, if you think how the meta will develop when, of course, the set is and the post rotation stuff is happening for a couple of weeks. What will change? Let me know your theory crafting down below. Anyhow, have yourself a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow with more Pokemon TCG epicness. Peace.